All right, let's jump right into it. Today, we're tearing into the really intricate world of a spiritual sci fi thriller called The Milk of Lies. We're going to break down its unique world building, its central conflict, and the truly haunting system of control that's right at its core. You know, this one line it's pretty much the key to the whole story. It's spoken to our main character, and it just sets this incredibly introspective, kind of mysterious tone. The idea here is that our biggest, most fundamental choices, we make them way before we even realize there's a question being asked. Wild, right? Okay, so first up, A World of Quiet Lies. This is where we meet our hero, a guy named Jordan Rivers. He's a healer, living this quiet, pretty peaceful life out on his family's farm. And you gotta understand, this farm, it isn't just a piece of land. It's a true sanctuary, a safe haven from a world it's slowly but surely just crumbling. And what's so interesting about this world is the vibe. It's all about this quiet desperation. See, society isn't falling apart with some big, loud apocalypse. No, it's more like a whisper. Hope is just fading. And people, they're absolutely desperate for any kind of salvation, any little promise of order or healing they can grab onto. And this slide just lays it all out, right? This is the core conflict of the whole story. On the one hand, you've got the sanctuary. It's warm, it's natural, it's a place of real, honest-to-goodness healing. But on the other hand, you have the grid. This is this encroaching system that promises order, but it's totally artificial, cold, sterile. It's literally a visual battle between something authentic and a beautiful, perfectly manufactured lie. Okay, on to our next section, the token of two paths. So Jordan's quiet life, yeah, that gets completely shattered when his mysterious Uncle Malachi shows up. And he brings this strange artifact with him. But this thing, it's not just a gift. No way. It's a call to adventure, it's a warning, and it's basically the trigger for everything else that's about to happen. So, this is the token. And it's not a weapon, not in the traditional sense. It's something way more personal. It's described as this simple river stone that feels warm and kind of hums. But his uncle corrects him, and this is so important. He says it listens. And that detail, it's absolutely crucial. It creates this direct, personal link between Jordan and the huge spiritual battle he's about to get thrown into. The second he's holding this token, it triggers his first vision. And it is terrifying. It starts with this absolutely cataclysmic image. The sky itself just splits wide open. I mean, the very fabric of his reality is tearing apart. And then he sees the main piece of the puzzle, the big deception. It's this glowing liquid pouring down like rain. The world is about to call this stuff the milk, and it looks like this beautiful, heavenly gift. But Jordan's vision, it's about to show him its true, horrifying purpose. And this is where it gets just chilling. He sees people drinking this milk, but they don't just die. No, they lose their very form, their individuality. They literally melt like wax. It's a symbol for a complete and total loss of self. This isn't salvation, not even close. It's erasure. All right, Section 3, Walking the Unseen War. So as you can imagine, Jordan is completely shaken by this vision. And that's when he's found by his first mentor, a man named Ezra. And Ezra teaches him this really fundamental truth. The real war, it isn't fought with armies and bombs. It's a spiritual war, and it's happening all around them, in plain sight, hidden just under the surface of everyday life. So Ezra introduces Jordan to this concept he calls the dystopian prayer walk. It's this really cool form of active spiritual resistance. Step 1 is to read the land, to actually learn to sense the spiritual atmosphere of a place. Step 2, pray with your eyes open, which he calls on-site intercession. And the final step, the goal really, is to walk out your prayer, to be a force for change right there on the scene, but without causing a scene. It's subtle, but powerful. And as Jordan starts to learn how to see this way, the signs of this unseen war become really tangible. Like the air itself actually feels heavier, spiritually thick, when he gets near grid-controlled areas. The people who've had the milk, they have these glazed-over eyes and these wide, unnatural smiles. Just wrong. And the beings they call aliens, turns out they're actually demons. Their forms kind of shimmer, and you can just catch a glimpse of something much older and darker underneath. And they run the whole show through a network of local enforcers called stewards. Okay, moving on to one of the most twisted parts of this story, the gratitude deception. So, what do these demons actually want? This is where the story just flips everything you'd expect on its head. Their goal isn't to create fear or pain or terror. Nope. It's something way, way more insidious than that. This quote from one of the demon leaders, man, it is absolutely chilling because it reveals their entire game plan. They don't feed on fear or hatred or any of that negative stuff. They feed on gratitude. Think about that. They've built a system where humanity actually thanks them for its own enslavement. It's genius in a terrifying way. The most powerful control is the kind that people are grateful to have. So let's break down exactly how this system of control works. It's basically a three-part machine. First, you've got the milk itself. That's the spiritual tether. It makes your body feel great, but it totally numbs your mind and shuts down any critical thinking. Second, you have the grid. That's the physical infrastructure, the global network that gets the milk to everyone. And finally, you have the stewards, the boots on the ground, making sure the milk keeps flowing and that everybody stays in line. It's a perfect, self-sustaining loop of deception. And all of this brings us to the climax of the story. Section 5, choosing truth over comfort. Jordan, who now sees the whole deception for what it is, travels right into the heart of the beast to confront the demon leaders head-on. And there, he's given one final, ultimate choice. And here's the choice they put in front of him, and it's a brutal one. On the one hand, they offer him peace, a perfect, painless world, no suffering, no cost, but also no real choice. The alternative? Truth. A reality that's messy and painful and, yeah, pretty frightening, but it's real. So he has to choose a comfortable lie or a wounding truth. But even after Jordan makes his choice, the demons leave him with this final, haunting warning. They tell him the war isn't over. See, they aren't some physical army you can just beat in a battle. They're an idea, a temptation. They're present in every little comfortable lie we tell ourselves and in every single promise that just sounds a little too perfect to be real. And that's really the question the story leaves us with, isn't it? It pushes right past the fiction and kind of holds a mirror up to our own lives. It makes you think about the systems we accept, the comforts we enjoy. And it forces you to ask, is the peace we feel, is it real? Or is it just a kind of milk of lies that we've learned to be grateful for? That is a really powerful thought to end on.